My name is Claire Odegaard, and I prefer she/her pronouns.
Human right is a right that is believed to justify every person.
Like having your basic needs met, and being able to have like the opportunity to have like beyond your basic needs met to like pursue your like interests and passions and be with people that you like. But I have had multiple trans friends who have issues finding work or experiencing like discrimination or being fired because they're trans. I'm not sure about the laws in Minnesota, but Missouri, where I'm from, it's still legal to fire people based on them identifying as LGBT.
About 20 to 25% of the LGBTQ members experience hate crime. LGBTQ community faces both physical and psychological violence. Most of the attacks are from strangers.
I am going into healthcare specifically to address the needs of the LGBTQ community, and also like women's health. So there's a lot of trauma and abuse that goes on in the medical field for like that women experience and queer people experience. And I think it's really based on just like not knowing like how to do trauma informed care. So I think education is really important, and I think creating more like inclusive like person-centered care is really important.
Majority of the states in the US still don't have sexual orientation protection. The LGBT community is statistically one of the most discriminated against demographics in the world.
I think that it's like a complicated question of like being seen and like feeling included and stuff like that, and also not wanting to assimilate is like a contradictory balance a lot of time. And I think also like I'm bisexual and I'm poly, like all of my identities are like both and like very fluid, which I think is like really hard because they're not like specific categories.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the hardest part for that, is that it can't really be like put into like a box, and it constantly just needs to be explained, and like people always have questions.
While LGBT adults say society is more accepting, just 19% say there's a lot of social acceptance today, and many say they have been victims of discrimination, such as being subject to slurs or jokes, or suffering rejection by a family member.
I think there's still just like a lot of microaggressions that happen, and just like it's still considered like really normal just to like assume like heterosexuality, and like seeing people's identities as valid, and not just like a new like fad or something like that. Like people are inherently like valid, and should feel free to like explore and express themselves and be able.
It's never too late or too early to be who you are. There's no limits.
Trans people and queer people have to access the doctor more often because of like whether it's like transition or just like I don't know, we access the health system a lot, so I just hope that it becomes more supportive and like healing place and not like a space of trauma, which it is now.
Research suggests that LGBT individuals face health disparities linked to societal stigma, discrimination, and denial of their civil and human rights. Experiences of violence and victimization are frequent for LGBT individuals and have long lasting effects on the individual and the community.
I fear for a lot of people that I love, and I fear for my community a lot. And specifically, like I said, when the more intersecting identities that you have, the more vulnerable you are to like the different, like the bathroom bills and laws on sex work and all of those types of things. So yeah, so I'm worried. I'm really worried about that.
Even the smallest gestures can help. Amplify the voices of LGBTQ. Get involved in their activism. There is many things to help the LGBTQ community. Protest, go on strikes and marches. Support LGBTQ. We are here for them. They are not alone.